Corporate governance defines how a company is run and in whose interests. It defines who controls it and who directs it. In other words, it's the constitution of the firm, who controls and directs the workplace. And it involves balancing the interests between key constituents of the firm, so for example, workers, shareholders, suppliers, creditors, and how they're represented and have voice within the governance of the firm. Now, why is that important? Well, it's because how firms are organised and how they perform is obviously a key part of how the wider economy performs. And what we know in the UK is that despite some top-line figures suggesting that there is some economic dynamism in the UK, underneath the bonnet there are some serious suboptimal outcomes rooted in deep structural problems in the economy. And one of those, IPPR's Commission on Economic Justice is arguing, is that actually corporate governance, how firms are governed, is a problem. And there are two key problems. Firstly, corporate governance incentivises short-termism and extractive business models. And what that leads to is lower investment relative to other major developed economies, which in turn contributes to the UK's long-running problem of low productivity. And the second problem, to go with low investment, is high inequality. So shareholders exercise low control over management, but there's little voice from workers in how pay is set. And what you see is this runaway pay with no relation really to reward or indeed company purpose. And that is rooted in some ways with corporate governance as it's structured. Now, reforming corporate governance to include other stakeholders, workers, including representation and voice for other key interests in the firm, isn't a silver bullet, but it's one part of much broader structural reforms of the economy that can contribute to a higher investment, lower inequality, more productive economy.